Good morning, good morning, good morning, Stampers. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to day 3 of our daily Facebook Lives, where I am featuring the In Bloom bundle from the January to June 2021 mini catalog, and as well as the coordinating Paper Blooms DSP. So today we're going to create a card using some scraps of cardstock. We all have tons of scraps, so this is a great idea to use scraps. And I am going to use this particular pattern paper as my kind of jumping off point. So I chose cardstock colors from this pattern paper. So I've got some Seaside Spray, some Night of Navy, some Rococo Rose, soft Seafoam, some Petal Pink, and some Old Olive. I think those are all the colors in here. And then I'm going to use just a little piece of this DSP on my envelope flap to kind of tie it all together. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sherry Ross. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And we are going to get crafty this morning and every day this week featuring that product that I just shared. Okay, so I've got my kit here. Set my envelope aside for now. And you can see that I've got several strips of those colors that I just mentioned. So all of those colors that I pulled out of this patterned paper. I love that Stampin' Up! Coordinates has cardstock and ink colors and embellishments that coordinate with all their pattern papers. It makes it so easy to put things together. All right, Mary Liz says, nice to have you as the voices in my head. Good morning, Mary Liz. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Christine and Sue and Alice and Angie. Good morning, everyone. All right. Okay, so we are starting with a little bit different. Normally, I cut my cardstock this way rather than this way, but today, I don't know, I was inspired to do one going this way. So we've got, it still ends up being the same size card base. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but we're starting with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. And this is our thick white cardstock. So I'm just gonna use my bone folder, make that nice and crisp. And then we're going to use these strips. So these strips are 1/4 inch. Oh, Christine, I just saw your name and that just reminded me that I forgot to post measurements for yesterday's card. I will go back and in the comment section, I will post those 3 measurements that you had asked for that I failed to mention. All right, so I've got my 1/4 inch strips and we're going to start by adding just a little bit of multi-purpose glue. To the back, and we're going to go at an angle. So there are lots of ways that you can do this, and you can do this with strips of patterned paper, you can do it with strips of cardstock, you can really do it with anything. So we're basically just going to create a block of pattern using 1/4 inch strips of cardstock. Okay, you could make these wider, you could make them smaller, you could have them going down the center, you could have them going down the side, you could have them going straight across, you could have them going up and down across the center. There's so many ways that you could do this. If you guys end up using this idea and creating a project, I would love for you to tag me so I can see it. So I'm butting them right up against each other. And I've cut them longer. You want to make sure if you're going across, you want to cut them longer than the width of your card, because if you're going at an angle, you're gonna end up using more of that cardstock than just the 4 1/4 inch bit. All right. Then we're gonna do Old Olive. So tomorrow is the big day. We have our inspection of our new house tomorrow. I can't wait to go walk through it. The poor kids, because of COVID, only 2 people can go in to the house plus the realtor. And tomorrow it's going to be the realtor, Marcel and I, and then the inspector. So there's going to be 4 people. And the kids haven't even seen the house yet. So I'm going to talk to the realtor and see if we can get them in separately just so that they can have a quick walkthrough so that they can see it, providing that the conditions are lifted. Let's hope that there's no major problems. Super excited to go back and look at it a little closer. Everything happened so quickly last week. I've been studying every day. I make a point of going and looking at the photos online. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I told my husband yesterday that I found, when I was cleaning up, I found this notebook that I have that's got grid paper in it. So I told him that I was going to, I've got all the measurements for the room, because in the listings they usually have all of the measurements, or for most of the rooms. So I'm going to sketch out each room, and I'm going to cut out our furniture to scale and figure out how we're going to position everything. We've got a lot of time on our hands before we get into that house. So yeah, I just thought that would help make things pretty smooth when we do move. Yeah, I'm kind of, you know what, Angie, I'm very excited to see how things turn out, because I'm not obviously going to have a full, like, I'm not going to have near as much space as what I have right now. Right now, I pretty much have the entire basement. And in our new place, I'm just going to basically have a corner of our rec room, but then there's a separate closet where I will have that whole closet to store my stuff in. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of finding how I'm going to fit an entire basement into a corner and a closet. So yeah, you'll definitely be seeing posts on that. Okay, so there we go. Look how fun that background is. Super, super fun. And it was so simple to do. Good morning, Raywin. It's been a long time since I've seen you live. Okay, let's see here. Now what do we want to do? Joy, it is in an area called Maplewood here in Sherwood Park. It's just not far off of Y Road and I think Brentwood Boulevard. I think that's the road. All right. Oh, that's a great idea, Mary Liz. Oh, I love a good challenge, Kim. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside. I've got some pieces that we're going to die cut. So I'm going to bring in the dies. What did I do with them? And we are going to choose our images here. I think I'm going to use this one. And then I want the big center. You can tell that I like this flower. I think I used this one on the... Oh, no, I didn't. I used this one. I was going to say, I thought I used this one the other day. Okay, and then we're going to do some of these chunky leaves. Do I have another? Oh, we have this one. We'll do that on there. We're going to do one of these leaves on the green. And we're going to do this flower on here. I think I've got everything. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. Thank you, Elaine. And we'll bring in our little mini machine. And we're going to do some die cutting. Let's see how much of this we can fit on here. One thing I did notice with this little machine, if you have anything hanging off the edge, even if it's just a sliver of cardstock, you will have a hard time feeding it through. So if you cannot get your cardstock through, or your sandwich layer through, then double check that nothing is overhanging the edge and see if that helps. See, mine goes through just fine, but if I had that cardstock hanging off the edge just ever so slightly, just that extra thickness really causes problems. Okay, so we'll just slide these guys off. And we'll do the green. Good morning, Leanne. Leanne and I were chatting by text this morning. Oh, make sure that stays on there. Thank you for sharing, Leanne. Okay. Elaine says, I know what it's like to go to a small crafting space. She had a full room in her last house and only a corner now. So do you have any tips, Leanne? Or Elaine, sorry. I've been purging a lot, getting rid of things that that I don't think I need anymore. I've been trying to use up a bunch of stuff, especially before I pack. So it's going to be a challenge because we've got 6 weeks without, before we can, between leaving here and before we can move into our other place, we've got 6 weeks. I am going to have to work for those 6 weeks. So I can pre-plan as much as I can get done, but I'm still going to have to do some work. There's no way I can pre-plan 6 weeks of content and not, well, and you know what? I don't want to not craft for 6 weeks. So I've challenged myself to come up with a plan and just have my supplies in my Raskog cart, which is a small little cart from IKEA. And I've got a crafting tote that will hold my paper. So that's what I'm going to use. We're going to see how it goes. And yeah, it should be interesting. It'll be fun to challenge myself to only use the stuff that I have here. It'll be interesting. Okay, so now before we start decorating the card here, I've got this strip of denim ribbon. This is from the annual catalog. And if you've been following along all week, you saw me do this on Monday, where I trimmed the very edge of the ribbon off so that I could separate the fibers. And now I'm going to pull, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those fibers. I'm going to separate them. I love doing this because it's just such a soft look. And plus, it really stretches your ribbon. Okay. So now I've got all these navy blue fibers. They're super fine fibers, and I'm going to tie a bow. Those calyx units, those are fabulous. I think probably most crafters have those. I would say, and you don't even have to be a crafter. Both my kids have them in their rooms. My daughter has a couple of them. Actually, my son has a couple of them too. Just different configurations. They're just so practical and they can be used for so many different things. Okay. So there's my bow, actually, and I want to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so now we've got our flower, and I don't have any adhesive here or anything. I am not on the ball this morning. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to curl up the petals on here. And we'll pop this in the middle, just popped up. I'm going to curl up the leaves. Look at that stitching on there. Love it. And, okay, we're going to use Tombow this morning. Just pop that on there. Now, let's see here. I'm thinking kind of like that, but I want to put, I think I'm going to make this bigger. I was kind of thinking of putting this in behind, but let's see how much we can see, because I just want to see a little bit kind of, oh yeah, that'll be good. All right, let's use a mini glue dot. Grab paper piercing tool. And just a mini glue dot right there, and this guy will go like that, and then we can put some adhesive on here. Add that on there, and see what that ribbon in the background just adds a little something. I go through different phases of things, and for the longest time, and I still do it on occasion, I was taking my ribbon and I was going like this, and then I put a little bow on the top, and I did that on so many projects for so long, and now this seems to be my thing. I'm going through a phase where I need to separate my ribbon into little fibers, but it's so fun. I like the look of it. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need a greeting for the outside, and I wanted to use, so in the In Bloom stamp set there is this greeting that says happy birthday, you really are the best. And what I want to do is, I don't want to make it a birthday card, I want to make it a kind of a generic card. So I am going to take my navy ink, and there's a few ways that you can do this. You can cover the happy birthday with Scotch tape, and then ink you really are the best, and then peel off the masking tape and then stamp it down. Or you can use markers, but you guys have heard me say that I'm not a fan of using markers on photopolymer stamps. I just find that they don't adhere. The ink doesn't adhere quite as nicely. If you're doing just a small little image or part of an image, then I think it's fine. But I like the crispness of using an ink pad. So what I did, because it's photopolymer, I can see, so I'm just going like right at the edge of the ink pad and just inking up the "You Are the Best." And I'm tapping very, very lightly so that I don't push too hard and get ink all over the block or the other words. And then I'm just going to line that up with the edge of the cardstock that I have here. And now I've got just the words that I want. So you could use this as a thank you card. You could put happy birthday on the inside. You could do a congratulations card with this. So there's lots of different options that you could turn this card into. I will likely use it as a thank you card because I use so many thank you cards. All right, so now I'm just going to use my little trimmer and trim this down. And then I'm going to separate the words. So I'll trim this down quite narrow, a little bit more. So my daughter and I have a shared calendar, and just so that I know her work schedule, because she works she works and she has school and she's got a lot going on, so it's just easier for her to share her schedule with me so that I know when she's going to be home for dinner and, you know, all that. And I noticed today she put her grad photos, her university grad photo appointment into her calendar. I can't believe she's graduating from university already. Where have the last 4 years gone? My goodness. Okay, so I'm separating this into 3 strips. So the U, I'm going to trim this front bit off just a little bit. And then my son is graduating from high school this year. I tell you, those kids, they just keep growing up. Every once in a while I start thinking about them leaving home, and it just makes me so sad. Okay, so I'm just going to put these on kind of, should I go crooked? Maybe not quite so crooked, just a little bit crooked to make it a little bit more whimsical. Leanne, no, this was an incentive. This was only available to demonstrators to purchase a year ago in December, and then it was a starter kit perk last year during celebration, so they aren't available to purchase. I do have one in my stash that I will be using as a door prize at some point over in my treasure chest group. And you're a member, actually, Leanne. You're a member of the treasure chest, so yeah, so maybe you'll be the lucky one to win it. All right, so we're gonna put this down. Like this. Yeah, I'm just not looking forward to that at all. The whole empty nest idea. I think there's going to be, you know, some good things about it. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do without my kids around. All right. Okay, so the outside of our card is done. Now, these pieces I cut so that I could do something on the inside. So I'm not going to stamp a greeting on the inside. Christine, do they ever move out? Do you still have, because I know your daughter bought a house, so your daughter's gone. Does your son still live with you? That's funny. Yeah, I think for some people, I think they think that, right? Right now, we're going through the whole thing. We had a discussion at dinner last night because there's one bedroom in the basement. So Ethan thinks that he should get it because Jordan's not going to be at home much longer. So why would she get the basement bedroom and then he have to move his stuff all the way down when, you know, a few months from now she could be moving out? So that's his argument. And she's like, but it might not be in just a few months. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now, is kind of a discussion over who gets the basement bedroom. They both want it. I know, Marge. I remember in our old house, the house that we had before this, like I started as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator when I was on mat leave with Ethan. So it was that long ago. And he would sit on the stairs because we had like a bi-level split. So you walk in and there's this little room. My studio was in the basement, and then there were these stairs kind of going up, and he used to sit on those stairs and say hi to all the ladies, he called them, all the ladies when they came, because they'd come about 7 and his bedtime was shortly after 7. So he used to sit on those stairs and greet all the ladies, and yeah. My goodness, time goes by so fast. All right, there we go. Now we've got this cute little accent on the inside of our card. And there's the outside. And then we have to do the envelope. So I just cut a strip of DSP. This is probably about 6 inches by 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 inches. Yeah, what would we do without technology, right, Kim? Susan, you have all of your kids still with you? Oh, that's nice that they're there to help you out. All right, so we're going to line this up, and then I'll just flip it over and trim it. And then I'll show you the whole thing together, and I'll show you the projects that we've created so far this week. And just a reminder that if you want the pre-cut supplies for this kit, which a few of you have already taken advantage of, if you place a $60 order using this host code from my online store, or you can even just email me your order as well, I will send you the pre-cut supplies for all of these cards that I make this week. And once the week is done, I will have a PDF done up with photos, measurements, and links to all that videos so that you can reference them really easily. So, and that promotion is good until February 28th, which is the last day of celebration. Can you believe celebration is almost over? I tell you, 2 months flew by. There we go. So look how this pattern paper kind of brings everything all together. So pretty. Okay, now, yesterday I created this. So I really focused on the stamp set yesterday. So we did the envelope and then this super simple fun fold card. I love how soft and elegant this is. So all of the projects this week, I really took the color scheme from the patterned paper. I just love those colors together. So there was that. And then on Monday, we created this fun little home decor piece. Let's move this down here. So that you could add a photo or your favorite Bible verse or a favorite quote. Super cute. So far this is what we've got, and we still have 2 more projects. So I've got another simple card tomorrow, and then I'm going to finish it off on Friday with a new favorite thing of mine to do that I absolutely love the look of it. And you're going to see it with this. You're going to see it also with the new butterfly bundle that's coming out. I was playing with that yesterday. Laura and I have the class in the mail, the March class in the mail planned using this beautiful new Butterfly Brilliance bundle. And oh my gosh, the cards are amazing. I think this is our best month yet. So excited about them. So you can watch for that next week. All right. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.